All right. Thank you, Madam Chair, and also to our ranking member. Secretary Granholm, very good to see you and appreciate you being here for the hearing so we can really talk a little bit about taking a closer look at your Department of Energy budget and request for 2022. I don't think this has been approached yet, but I'm certainly maybe going to be the first person to bring this up to you, at least for this subcommittee hearing. But renewable fuels like biodiesel and ethanol, really, really important to rural economies. We've got 40% of the corn that's produced domestically is processed to produce ethanol. And these fuels have the potential to reduce our carbon emissions right now. And I always want to make sure that I bring that up because I come from corn country and soybean country. But wondering, Madam Secretary, where do you feel that biofuels will fit into the Department of Energy's and the Biden administration's blueprint for a net zero future?
Great. Thank you for asking this. We actually have a whole biofuels and bioenergy team that's working on this, and they do great work. So I'm really glad that you asked. Electric vehicles obviously have emerged as this great technology, which they are for light duty vehicles like cars and SUVs. But pickups, heavy duty transportation modes that really need more of an energy density of liquid fuels, that is where biofuels are going to play a critical role. And that's especially true in aviation and marine fuels. So we think they have a huge role to play, especially in, long haul trucking, other areas too, like, can we meet critical needs with biofuels relying on sustainable production methods and sources and levels. So I feel very bullish about this bottom line. We see biofuels playing a big role, and we think that those refineries can be producing and should be producing aviation biofuels right now because the aviation industry is really interested as a demand to take that offtake. This is very exciting and it's not much to retrofit a biofuel refinery to be able to produce aviation fuel. So we've got our team working on this, and I will keep you posted because I think it's really exciting.
Very good. Thank you, Madam Secretary, and looking forward to working with you on that. If we can go to nuclear energy for just a second, I know we've had some questions about this, but as you look at the last several years, Congress has included funds for efforts to extend the life of existing commercial nuclear reactor fleets. These are funds that have been important for nuclear power stations and the jobs. We've been talking a lot about jobs. You've been talking a lot about jobs, but the really, really good jobs that they support. And it is true in and around the congressional district that I represent. Wondering what you see as the role for the existing nuclear fleet in the budget request, and what specific R&D activities can be pursued to maintain the cost competitiveness and vitality of the current fleet of nuclear power plants for their life expectancy.
Yeah, the DOE has not historically subsidized plants, but I think this is a moment to consider, and perhaps it's in the American Jobs Plan or somewhere, to make sure that we keep the current fleet active. The U.S. has 93 operating nuclear reactors, and that accounts for 52% of our emissions-free electricity generation. And as you say, they employ thousands of people. I think in Illinois, you've got a couple of, maybe even 4 reactors that are scheduled to come offline. And, we're not going to be able to achieve our climate goals if our nuclear power plants shut down. We have to find ways to keep them operating. And so one way, of course, is I know the American Jobs Plan establishes an energy efficiency and clean energy standard, which includes nuclear, and that creates demand for nuclear power, right? While cutting electricity bills. But this question of some direct subsidy or some way to support these plants to stay open, that's still an open question. But I know that this administration would be eager to work with Congress on it.
Very good. And we look forward to working with you on that. With my remaining 20-some seconds, I will yield back the remainder of my time. And Madam Secretary, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.